How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. You will get wrecked if you make these mistakes that are happening right now. Let's go through that along with some of the news from the market here today. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn on the bell notification underneath the video so you can see future videos just like this one as soon as I make them. There are also a couple links underneath the video if you want to leverage trade. If you think the market's going to fall down further, because it is falling down a bit today, you can check out the link and start shorting Bitcoin and crypto. Or if you think this is the bottom, you can always put in an order. Then if we bounce, you could make several times more than you would just buying spot. Of course, make sure you know what you're doing and make sure that you understand leverage trading along with the risks. But you can get set up in just a few seconds over on Margex. There's also a link to CoinW underneath the video as well. They have about 11 days left in this extra airdrop period with a deposit bonus. But let's start here. Some fear today. Ooh, some trades being made in the background too, over on Margex. But some fear today. U.S. and Israeli officials expect Iran to attack Israel as early as Monday. This is one more piece of fear that's causing the market to fall down, along with the other things that we've talked in recent videos about. But keep this in mind. We've been talking about the strategic reserve of Bitcoin and how the U.S. government could start buying Bitcoin, how big that would be, how much they could buy. The U.S. government owns $3.4 billion of cheese held in cold storage as a strategic reserve of cheese. They hold 0 Bitcoin as a strategic reserve so far, right? Obviously, they hold some that they're going to sell at some point. As of now, that's kind of the theory. But yeah, they hold all kinds of assets, even if it's not, something that you normally think about. Billions of dollars of different assets that can go bad, right? Cheese is good for what? A couple months, maybe. Maybe they have some kind of cheese that lasts longer, but come on. They have billions of dollars of something that's going to go bad here soon, just in case. And yeah, they don't hold Bitcoin yet. So we're moving in the right direction. Bitcoin is also at its highest level ever for any August 3, right? So 2024, we're at 60,500. Last year at this time, we're at 29,000. The year before that, 22,000. The year before that, 38. Year before that, 11, 10, 7, 2. Yeah, so keep in mind, 12 years ago, we were at $11. And since then, it's just been nothing but up year after year. Of course, there are down years, but in a few years, we do recover. And this, like I said, if you zoom out, this is the best price we've ever been at this time of the year. We also have Kamala Harris and their team, well, really the team probably, maybe not her as much, going to meet with crypto community representatives on August 5. So yeah, maybe turning a little bit more pro-crypto. It seems like everyone is turning pro-crypto. Kamala, obviously, on one end of the spectrum versus Trump and really RFK. Trump's kind of in the middle, and then RFK is on the other far end. Very pro-crypto. But we've talked recently about some of the problems, some of the causes of this kind of panic over the last few days with Bitcoin hitting $60,000. Personally, I don't think it's worth panicking about. And because of that, I feel like I've been really paying attention to some of the things that people are doing that can just absolutely wreck them, can ruin this cycle for them and cause them to miss generational wealth. And I want to go through a couple of those things here today. Obviously, not everyone is doing this. Some people are making every right decision, but I just see this happening a lot on Twitter, and I'm sure if it's happening on Twitter, it's happening here too. I see people day after day quitting the market. If you've ever looked at Coinfessions, that's a really good Twitter page where they go through anonymously sending stories over to this Twitter account, and then they post these different stories. And some of them are really relatable, but a lot of people just get absolutely wrecked. They put all their life savings or all their investable cash into some meme coin, right? And then the team rugs. Or they try to go on some 120% APY platform, and then they get rugged. Or the token goes to zero. They get the 120%, but the token goes to zero. I think you have to be careful. You have to stay away from trying to get too greedy, right? I know some people say, diversification is for people that don't know what they're doing. Diversification does help you both actually get better returns, but it also helps you mentally, because if you invest even everything into Bitcoin, right? If I was 100% invested in Bitcoin, I own no real estate, no stocks, no cash, I might make a poor decision, right? I see my net worth go up 30% and then it falls 20%. And I think, I should just lock in this 10% gain. I sell, I have to pay taxes. And then we continue moving up, and then I buy at the wrong time because I feel FOMO, right? Psychologically, that can be one of the most difficult things to do. Honestly, psychology is so much of investing that you have to make sure that you're unemotional. Like this recent drop, I said this in a different video, I didn't feel anything. Like if anything, I'm like, oh, okay, things are interesting, right? It's not like I'm worried. And part of that is because I'm sitting in the right assets. Unlike a lot of people, I'm not trying to get 100x, right? And I say that fully knowing that if I get 100x, I'm super happy, right? But I'm not out here saying, how do I get that 100x? Let me invest to get 100x. Like, what is the highest probability thing to get me 100x? No, that's one mistake a lot of people make too, is they try to get a certain percentage gain, or they try to get to a certain number instead of just trying to make the best decision. Like at the end of the day, all investing should be is the best risk to reward ratio. So if you can get a 10x and there's like a decent like 50-60% likelihood, that's probably a good thing to invest in. But maybe the other option is you could get 100x, but there's only a 1% chance. Well, that's not as good a chances. Like your overall ROI in 100 different scenarios is going to be lower at a 1% chance of 100x, because literally it averages out to a 1x. You get 0 all the other times, and then you get 100x once, versus 50% chance of a 10x. That's a 5x on average, right? So a lot of people say, I have $5,000. I want to hit $1 million. How do I invest to get there? And they make stupid decisions. They invest in things that are way too risky. Also, even if you were to get that 100x or 200x, a lot of the time you will sell early or you'll sell too late, as opposed to if you have something that's a little bit lower volatility, a little bit higher quality asset like Bitcoin, you have more time to sell. I mean, if you had bought at 16K, 20K, you have had 4 months to decide to sell between 53 and 72, right? Like right now you could sell anytime. There's so much time compared to, a high risk asset where, let's even say Solana. Solana is a great asset, right? It's performed really well. It's done a bigger return than Bitcoin, but like the volatility swings are so much more. It can get cut in half within a few weeks. So it is harder to sell. Naturally, it's just harder to sell at the right time. Okay, so being too greedy, not diversifying, trying to get 100x instead of just doing the best risk to reward ratio. Some people try to hold on forever. They get married to the bag. So you might invest in something like a meme coin, make a ton of money. You love the community because it's fun. You feel adrenaline, dopamine, good emotions are tied to it. And then it dumps and you think, oh, I can't sell it. We're going into a bear market, but I can't sell it because I think it will still do well. Or I don't want to dump on other people in this community because it's so cool. Or the founders still really believe in it because they're saying that they still believe in it, but really they're dumping on the backside. So you never want to get married to your bags. You want to take profits on anything that's not a very high quality asset. Like honestly, Bitcoin is probably the only thing that I'll hold throughout the next bear market. It's the only thing. Everything else, I'm going to sell. Maybe I'll keep, a Solana or half an Ethereum or something like that for transaction fees, for ease of use, so that I don't have to sell every little thing and every little wallet. But generally, I'm just going to sell mostly everything because I'm not married to anything, right? It's here to help provide me returns, and I'm going to take those outsized returns and I'm going to put them in other assets. And then when we go through the next bear market, assuming we do go through a next bear market, then I will come at the market with a fresh mind thinking, okay, what kind of assets do I want to hold for the next 4 years? Because you have to come at it with a long-term approach. And then make sure that you don't have your emotions coming into play. We talked about that a little bit already. Another thing that you can do is not invest enough. I know it sounds crazy. I'm talking about diversification, but some people will put in 1% and then they'll monitor the market like crazy. Like maybe their net worth's 100,000. They put $1,000 into crypto, and that's great. That's better than most people. But if you put a couple $100, even $1,000, and your net worth is 100,000, you can probably spend your time somewhere else. right? I know that this is kind of against the interests of this channel, but if you're 1% in crypto, you probably should spend more time like making money or looking at your other assets. How can you improve those? If you have like a home, how can you add value to the home? Because you do a $5,000 renovation or something and it adds $10,000 on the home. That's the equivalent of a 5x on your crypto bag in that scenario. So like some people just don't invest enough to actually make it be worth their time. It sounds crazy, but some people don't do it. And then like when the market starts, sorry, just I'm having a allergic reaction to thinking about this. But when the market starts moving up, a lot of people start putting more and more into the market because they're like, oh, I'm under allocated. I really should put in more than 1%. So they start allocating more and more and more until they hit the top. And then they actually are down on their bags because they bought the most at the very peak. So under allocating or over allocating is a bit of an issue. You have to kind of figure out what is the best case scenario for you. Like, what would you be comfortable with? What would you be happy with if your bags did a 10x? Like, would you be pissed or would you be happy? And then if it fell by 50%, would you be pissed or would you be happy? And you kind of have to look, okay, which scenario, what percentage of my portfolio could I be happy with if it got cut in half or if it went 10x? So maybe that's 5%. You're really happy because you do a 10x and now it's worth 50% of your portfolio, or it gets cut in half and you're still okay with that, right? You're still okay. But yeah, generally you have to be okay in both those scenarios and you have to be able to weather the storm. You can't be psyched out of your bags. You can't be fudded out. You can't do any of that. Now, I will say the market is falling down a little bit right now, even as I'm recording, right? There's probably some liquidations happening, some selling happening. Keep in mind, there's not much liquidity right now in the market. There's not a lot of volume, right? I shouldn't say there's not much liquidity. There's not much volume on the weekends. So be careful out there. We may see some big swings. I see people fudding all over the place out there talking about how we're going through the next crypto winter, and that could happen, right? You have to be ready for that. But generally, I think that we're okay. And I posted a couple of videos yesterday talking about what's happening right now, all the fear, and the BlackRock master plan. If you haven't seen that, go check it out on the channel. Let me know your thoughts though on the market right now. Are you happy? Are you fine? Are you like just dead inside, right? Like I said yesterday, I've pretty much felt nothing from this market drop. It's just very similar to these other 3 or 4 drops. And when you zoom out, again, I hate to say it because some people they haven't been in the market that long that this does hurt, but we were on a pump around this time last year, and yeah, we were at $30,000. We had pumped up from 25 and people were excited, and then we ended up falling right back down to 25. But keep that in mind, we were at $30,000 last year. Now we're double that, and people are freaked out. I would love to be freaked out next year at $120,000. Let me know your thoughts on that, though. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. I will see you all in the next video. Check out those links. See you soon. Bye.